Well, April is National Volunteer Month, and the Roadrunner Food Bank has had an incredible flow of volunteers over the last year. In fact, last year alone, they had over 12,000 volunteers who provided more than 85,000 hours of service. We're highlighting a few of those volunteers through the morning, and here to talk with us about their experience volunteering with the food bank is Jeannie Elmhorst, and with her, and with the food bank, with Roadrunner Food Bank, is Sonia Warwick. Hello, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So, how long have you been volunteering with Roadrunner?
I'm one of the new volunteers. I've been there probably about 2 years, something like that.
Okay, and so why do you volunteer with the food bank?
It's fun. I'm motivated by fun. No, I really enjoy getting to know the people at Roadrunner are fabulous. The people who work there are amazing, dedicated people, so that's great experience. And I love getting out in the community, meeting people, learning more about the community I've lived in for 30-some years. It's a way to get to know the community much better and find out what the needs are and to meet some fabulous people who are meeting those needs.
That's great. And so for those people who might not know, what does Roadrunner do?
So we are the largest hunger relief organization in the state. We supply food to counties all over our very large state and supply food pantries and other meal programs with basics like food. And in turn, through that network of agencies that we've built, we serve 40,000 hungry New Mexicans a week.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it's like providing emergency food to the city of Farmington on a weekly basis. And a group of people that, really are kind of a small army of help are volunteers. We can't prep the 100,000 pounds of food we distribute every day without them. And Jeannie is one of those. She's worked both in our warehouse and she's taken on some new things. One of the new things we're doing is called SNAP Outreach. So what she does is actually visits food distributions and works with people on providing extra meals or giving them information about how to get extra meals on their table through SNAP or food stamp benefits.
Oh, okay, so that's what the SNAP Outreach is.
Yes.
When is the next outreach and where is it?
We do them all the time at food distributions. If there's an organization that wants us to try to send a volunteer like Jeannie to their food distribution, all they have to do is call us at the food bank. They can reach out to me and I'll put them in touch with the staff person that coordinates that. But like I said, it's really to give hungry families an additional resource for additional meals. Jeannie has met lots of clients, I think, over the past few months as she's been doing this and has some stories that she may want to tell you about that have been impactful to her.
Yeah, so is there somebody that stands out to you that you can share with us?
I think there are people who who've impacted me the most have been people who really have had something happen very recently in their home, some kind of turmoil, some kind of family problem. So senior citizens, elders who are coming because suddenly they are caring for young children and they want to be sure they have food for these children. So sometimes they have never been to a food pantry before, never needed help, and they'll be coming in and saying, whatever happened last night resulted in they now have children. They just want to be sure they have food over the weekend to feed these children, often grandchildren. And so some of those people have really touched my heart because they're trying so hard in an emotionally troubling time in their family to basically meet the needs of these children.
So is that what kind of inspired you, is people like that?
I think what inspired me is I had an inside because for years I worked at C&M and I worked with the service learning program. Okay. So my students had to, they could choose to do service in a community agency, and then they applied ideas about communication that we were studying in class to that. So I had so many students who wrote about all different nonprofits in the city. And what stood out to me was always the kinds of things that people said about Roadrunner Food Bank. So I had it in my head that that was one place I really wanted to volunteer because the students wrote such amazing things about what they saw, the people they met, the volunteers they met. So I started working in the warehouse because my husband was doing that on Wednesday mornings, and I started doing that, and then I needed to have some surgery, so I couldn't do the warehouse work anymore. And so I asked what else could be done, and at first they put me in a room with no windows and a computer, and I did some data entry. And
but a very social person.
And that wasn't my favorite thing, but It led to doing part of the hunger study, which was being done all around the state. So I went different places around the state to help with the hunger study, and that was really exciting. And now doing the outreach and going to different food pantries, I see the value of all the data entry because we have lists of places that people can get food, and that's really a valuable tool.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for joining in, and thank you for what you two do. So if you want any more information about how you can help volunteer or anything about the Roadrunner Food Bank, just head to CASA.com and click on the CASA blog.